so very much for that warm welcome. It's a great pleasure to be with you this evening and to be in this great city of San Diego, which also is one of our great military towns. And I know you're going to have a wonderful time on the Midway tomorrow night. I've been there a number of times. It's just an exciting ship to visit. I want to begin by expressing my appreciation for being invited here this evening, but to congratulate all of the Amway achievers. I've been backstage listening to all of them come out, listening to their testimonials, listening to the presentations they've made, and once again inspired by a company like Amway, the American way, inspired by people who are willing to devote their time and their talent and their everything in order to be successful in life, in order to get ahead. And Amway started my first year in the Army. I came in 58, but I really went into Germany for my first assignment in 1959. So Colin Powell was a soldier, and Amway is one of the greatest companies in the world. We started together 51 years ago. So it's a great pleasure to be with you this evening, but I have to be very, very candid. I have to be very, very honest with you. At this stage of my life, and this stage of my career, it's a great pleasure to be anywhere. It's not easy. Even though I've been out of government for some years now, I still think about those days late at night. I think about, oh my heavens, one day every king, every president, every prime minister in the world is calling and pleading with you to come see them, or they want to come visit you. One day every journalist, every reporter, every commentator wants to interview you, wants you to come on their television show, wants to write a story about you. One day you're the #1 diplomat of the whole free world. One day you're the Secretary of State of the United States of America. The next day you ain't. Just back down to being another guy. But you know, I had gone through something like that before. Because many, many years ago, I had the #1 position in the Armed Forces of the United States of America. And I had to step down from that august position just to become another retired GI. So this time, when I was stepping down from the Department of State, I realized that I would go through this same period of going from here back down to here, going through a transformation in my life. And I knew that the transformation, the transition, really began at home. So on my first day, after stepping down from being Secretary of State, I was sitting at the kitchen table having a leisurely cup of coffee with my beloved wife, Alma, my wife of 48 years. And we're enjoying this leisurely cup of coffee, and I look across at her and I say, darling, this is the first day of the rest of our lives. I won't be getting up at 5:30 in the morning anymore. I won't be leaving you at 6:30 in the morning anymore. She froze. Oh my God. He's not leaving in the morning anymore. Doesn't he realize how we've stayed married for 48 years? So I realized this was not going to be a sustainable situation, and I had to find some other things to do with my life. And the most tricky part of all of this was that when you come from that height down to just being, you know, an average guy again, there's an emptiness that comes upon you. Nobody's calling you anymore. Nobody really is chasing you around anymore. And there's an intellectual and an emotional emptiness that comes upon you. And you've got to do something about it. You've got to fill that space inside of you, or it can become very, very destructive. It can almost cause a depression. So giving it a lot of thought, what will I do? What will I do? How will I fill this emptiness I feel inside of me? I gave it a lot of thought, and I came up with a perfect solution. I bought a Corvette sports car. It works great. If you're having any trouble, save your nickels and buy a Corvette. Now, the police in Northern Virginia are not that happy with the old man and his Corvette. But they all know me. They all know me, and they radio to each other. Here he goes, stop him, get him, he's speeding again. And so they'll stop me and they'll pull me over, but they're all ex-soldiers, they're all ex-GIs. So they come to the car, And I roll down the window, and they stop and they salute me. And then they write a ticket. I trained them too well. They're professionals. People say to me, okay, look, you're having a lot of fun with this, but what are you doing? Are you really just retired doing nothing? Well, no, I'm an IBO, an independent business owner now. Just like you guys.
Wow.
Yeah. And I have a lot of different interests. One of my principal interests, I'm now in the venture capital world. I belong as a limited partner in a company north of here in Silicon Valley, a company called Kleiner Perkins, one of the great Silicon Valley venture capital companies, the company that brought Amazon to market, brought Google to market, brought so many other famous companies to market. And I'm part of that team now. And I enjoy being with these young entrepreneurs. They're young entrepreneurs, they're hungry, they're like you, they want to get ahead. They want to take advantage of the opportunities that exist in society. And it's great to be with them. They are also the ones who are the leading edge of technology. The kind of technology that is reshaping the world, reshaping your businesses, the way you go about doing your businesses. And I try as hard as I can to keep up with what's going on in the world of information technology. I was born analog, and I'm desperately trying to become digital to stay up with the world. Look what has happened. Look at the people who are here. Look at where Amway is throughout the world. A lot of it has come about because the information revolution has allowed us to cross boundaries, to cross cultures, to cross languages. I listened backstage to the testimonials I heard. A lot of that would not be possible if it wasn't for the power of the information revolution. And I want to be a part of it. I want to keep up with this digital world that we're all now part of. But the other thing I want to do is I want to keep up with my grandchildren. My grandchildren are totally digital. They were born digital. Even the 3-year-old grandson is digital. But the worst one is my 16-year-old grandson, Brian. Brian knows all this stuff. And he keeps trying to, keep me up to date and keep me up to speed. But it's hard. It's hard. I said to him over Thanksgiving holiday, Brian, honey, why don't you answer my emails anymore, Brian? How come you don't take my phone calls? And he looked at me and he put his arm around me and he said, oh, Grandpappy, you don't understand. We don't do emails anymore. We don't do telephone calls anymore. What do we do, Brian? Oh, Poppy, we text each other. What else do we do? Poppy, we tweet. Brian, what's a tweet? It comes from Twitter. Why don't they call it a twit? I'm so confused, I don't know what's going on. He said, Poppy, don't worry, we'll get you a Twitter account. I don't want a Twitter account. I'm too old for a Twitter account. Okay, we'll put you on Facebook. Oh, no. I am too old to need a social networking site. Too late for me. Well, he told me the next day, Poppy, guess what? You're already on Facebook. Somebody puts you on Facebook. They can't do that. You can't do that. I'm a private citizen. You just can't put me on Facebook because somebody wanted to pretend they're me and put me on Facebook. What's the name of that young man, Zuckerberg? We'll sue him. We'll sue him. Get my lawyers. We're going to sue. And he said, well, Poppy, you already have 25,000 friends.